The trail that disappears under the moon. The Yucatan Peninsula has always been shrouded in mystery. Underground caves, natural tunnels, dense forests, and areas where the moon illuminates but never fully reveals what lies hidden beneath the leaves. In 1998, a series of disappearances along rural trails near Valladolid gave rise to one of the strangest and silent cases in recent Mexican history, a case that later became known as the Yucatán Moonlight Killings. The symbolic image of the case, a traveling child walking along a narrow path illuminated only by moonlight, represents the nocturnal atmosphere that would mark the entire investigation. The trailer who never reached the village. On August 14, 1998, a family traveling between small communities decided to follow a rural trail on foot as it was shorter than the main road. The eldest son, 12 years old, walked a few meters ahead, holding a weak flashlight and a small backpack. The moon was full, illuminating the path. The trail was surrounded by dense trees and a thin mist rising from the ground, a common phenomenon in the region caused by the soil's moisture. The family described the moment the boy turned the corner and disappeared from sight for a few seconds. He was never seen again. The first search and the silence of the trees. The search team found footprints for only 30 meters beyond the bend. After that, no footprints, no drag marks, no trace of a struggle. It was as if the boy had stopped and simply ceased to exist. Sniffer dogs followed the trail to a specific point, a kind of narrow clearing among the vegetation. There, whenever the dogs arrived, the same thing happened. They would stop, stare into the dense undergrowth, and retreat. No aggression, no barking, just retreat. This behavior deeply disturbed the investigators. Trained dogs don't retreat without reason. The second disappearance, and the pattern emerges. 2 days later, a young cyclist using the same trail also disappeared. The bicycle was found lying on the ground, still with the handlebars warm, indicating that the fall had happened minutes before the teams arrived. No tire marks other than that, nothing indicating a direction of escape or capture. And, even more disturbing, the fog was thicker that day. People in the region began to avoid going out at night, especially on trails illuminated by the full moon. There was a growing rumor that something or someone was using the darkness and silence of the jungle to their advantage. The old residents and the accounts not found in the archives. Investigators spoke with older residents who lived isolated on the edge of the forest. They never spoke of creatures, spirits, or made-up legends. They spoke of people. People who knew every hidden route in the forest, every narrow shortcut, every underground passage formed by natural caves in the region. According to them, there were small groups that moved undetected, using only the moonlight to navigate. Groups that lived outside of civilization, without documents, without records, without contact, and who didn't like solitary travelers. The police noted these accounts but never officially released them. The partial discovery on the full moon. On the night of August 28th, search teams patrolled the trail with flashlights and night vision equipment. In a darker area, near the same spot where the boy disappeared, an agent noticed something unusual in the vegetation. Cut branches, exposed roots, and moss removed in a circular area. As they focused the flashlight, they perceived a narrow, almost invisible passage extending into the woods, as if someone had carefully hidden an improvised underground route. But the depth was so shallow and uneven that the team couldn't advance more than a few meters. The underground trail appeared to have been used recently. The last disappearance and the thickest fog. On August 31st, the case reached its peak when 3 men working in the area disappeared simultaneously while crossing the trail to return to the village. An immediate search was conducted, and for the first time, something physical was found. A backpack thrown among roots, a torn shirt, and footprints, but footprints that went into the woods and never came out. The fog that night was so thick and low that it seemed to touch the ground like a white sheet. The moon was so bright that it created long, distorted shadows. The investigation concluded that that night the unknown group moved through the woods with much more aggression. The official closure and the unpublished theory. The government closed the case, classifying it as multiple disappearances in an area of environmental risk. But independent investigators gathered unofficial evidence that there were underground routes connecting sections of the jungle, small natural chambers used as shelter, and signs of human activity in the vicinity of the trail. Nothing conclusive, nothing solid, nothing that could be presented as formal proof, but enough to suggest that the disappearances were not accidents, nor animal attacks, nor natural phenomena. Something or someone was using the jungle as perfect cover, the moon as a guide, and the fog as camouflage. And the moon continues to illuminate the trail. To this day, residents avoid using trails in the region during the full moon, not out of superstition, but out of memory, because all the disappearances occurred on clear nights with the trail illuminated only by moonlight and the shadows of the jungle. And even today, hikers and guides report seeing faint lights moving among the trees, quick shadows crossing the trail, faint sounds of footsteps in the mist. There is never a body. There are never footprints. There is never an explanation. The trail remains there. The moon remains there. And the silence of the jungle continues to wait.